Long before metal pots and modern cookware existed, humans faced a daily challenge: how to boil water safely over a fire without burning it or contaminating it. For the first minute, consider a small group of early humans huddled around a crackling hearth. They needed hot water for cooking, for purifying streams, or for warming themselves, but they lacked containers that could withstand direct flame. Yet archaeological evidence shows they developed a remarkable solution: a simple, portable vessel that could hold water and boil it over coals, a method that combines observation, material knowledge, and ingenuity. This was the fire cup, a seemingly modest tool that transformed survival, allowing our ancestors to safely heat water even in the absence of a traditional pot. Understanding the fire cup reveals a principle that still applies today. With the right materials and technique, you can manipulate fire safely, efficiently, and resourcefully. The fire cup worked because it leveraged natural materials that resisted heat. Early humans discovered that certain types of stone, clay, and even hardened shells could hold water without cracking under heat. Stones like sandstone, soapstone, or basalt were prized because they could withstand high temperatures and could be shaped into shallow bowls or cups. Some groups hardened clay into thick vessels, sometimes lining them with crushed shells or plant fibres to reduce cracking. The key was choosing materials that absorbed and distributed heat evenly. Even today, survivalists can replicate this principle by selecting stones that do not fracture when exposed to fire, or by creating thick, insulated makeshift cups from natural materials. The fire cup was essentially an early version of the double-walled pot: heat-resistant, compact, and highly versatile. The technique relied on controlling the fire rather than the container. Unlike modern stoves, open fires are unpredictable. Ancient humans learned to manage the coals, placing the fire cup on embers rather than direct flame. Hot coals radiated heat evenly into the vessel, allowing water to boil without spillage or cracking. In some cases, small fires were dug into shallow pits, creating a controlled environment for the fire cup. This method also minimized smoke exposure and reduced the risk of scorching the surrounding area. For modern bushcraft, this demonstrates the importance of fire management. Placing stones or vessels in embers rather than open flames increases control, reduces waste, and improves safety. Hot stones were used to extend the functionality of the fire cup. In some regions, direct fire heating was avoided altogether. Early humans would heat stones in a fire and then place them into a water-filled fire cup. The hot stones transferred energy to the water, gradually raising it to a boil without ever putting the vessel on the flames. This technique minimized cracking in clay or stone cups and allowed for portable, flexible water heating. Modern survivalists can replicate this method using metal or heat-resistant containers, and even small rocks can serve as energy conductors in emergency situations. This approach is particularly useful for heating water in environments where building a stable fire isn't feasible or safe. The fire cup was enhanced by insulation and layering techniques. To retain heat longer, early humans often placed moss, sand, or ashes around the fire cup. This insulated the vessel, prevented heat loss, and allowed water to reach boiling temperatures more efficiently. Ash also helped regulate heat distribution, acting as a buffer between direct coals and the vessel. For modern bushcraft, similar insulation principles apply. A water container surrounded by sand, ash, or even a simple mound of soil can heat faster and stay hot longer, conserving fuel and reducing fire maintenance. This demonstrates a fundamental lesson. Insulation is as important as the heat source itself. The fire cup demonstrates the principle of resourcefulness that underpins survival skills. Beyond boiling water, the technique reflects a deep understanding of material properties, fire behavior, and problem-solving under constraints. The cup could be used for cooking, sterilizing water, preparing medicinal teas, or warming liquids for comfort. Its portability made it a multi-use tool. By combining the right materials with careful fire management, early humans achieved functionality that rivals many modern emergency tools. You can apply the fire cup method in modern bushcraft and survival situations. For example, a thick, heat-resistant stone or small clay bowl can serve as a primitive fire cup. Prepare a small fire pit or ring of embers and place the vessel on glowing coals rather than direct flames. Use hot stones to gradually raise the water temperature and insulate the vessel with sand or ashes to conserve heat. This method is quiet, fuel-efficient, and reduces the risk of spillage or cracking. It also teaches self-reliance. Instead of relying on manufactured pots, you learn to work with available resources and adapt to environmental conditions, a core skill for any survivalist. The ancient fire cup may seem simple, but it represents a profound mastery of survival principles that modern humans often overlook. By understanding the interplay of material properties, heat management, and improvisation, anyone can replicate this ancient technique and improve their bushcraft survival or off-grid skills. If you want more insights into forgotten survival tools and ancient ingenuity, make sure to subscribe to Backyard Wisdom. Share this with fellow history enthusiasts and bushcraft fans, and keep these lessons alive, because the past holds solutions that are still powerful, practical, and life-saving today.